Okay, good morning. Today is the Tuesday, June 24th meeting of the Board of Selectmen. This is a regularly scheduled meeting. It is 8:32, 3. You have today's agenda in front of you. Any additions or corrections?
Nope.
Did I get a motion to approve today's agenda?
So moved.
It's unanimous. Thank you. And the minutes from our regularly scheduled meeting on June 17th. Any additions or corrections there?
None here.
I get a motion to approve.
So moved.
It's unanimous. Public comments. Members of the public are welcome to provide comments to the Board of Selectmen on agenda topics scheduled for review and or vote. Comments submitted electronically should be sent to the following email address: bosdistribution@newcanaanct.gov. Any public comment? No. Okay. Moving on to full-time employees. Cheryl.
Good morning. Okay, the first one is a transfer. Michael Shiano, who is currently working at the transfer station. He is looking to move from an equipment operator 3 to a scale operator. He wants to learn all the jobs at the transfer station. He's a hard worker, and this is going to help us have him know each area. So if we have an absence or whatever, he can cover. So we are fully behind this transfer.
Any questions?
Nope.
All right.
Good things.
Could I get a motion to, could I get a motion to approve Mike Shiano from equipment operator 2 to scale operator at the transfer station?
So moved.
Second.
It's unanimous.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Okay, next one is for the Parks Department. We have 2 people retiring. So we went out, we put an ad out. We had close to 100 resumes. We went through them, interviewed 15, came down to 2 after a second set of interviews. The first one is Michael Damani. He currently works at P&S Paving. He has a CDL. He lays asphalt, does plowing, good customer service, and great recommendations. So we would like to have him start. And the next one is Robert Collins. He is currently was the assistant director of facilities for Next Country Day. He unfortunately was let go. He had been there since 2008. He has also been a grounds foreman. He's ran a crew, done snow removal, landscaping experience, and knows OSHA protocols. So we would like to bring both of these guys in, hopefully starting this week. Ryan, any?
Just wanted to mention there were plenty of candidates. So these 2 stuck out, and we're looking to have them on board as soon as possible. And we're looking forward to it. So.
Can I ask with, did you say you got 100 resumes? So are those just Indeed, people kick them out, or is it like, do these guys really, reach out in a different format? Yeah.
Some are just, they just come through Indeed, and others are coming through recommendations, and others saw the posting and apply.
Yes, because I know it's just hard now because you get flooded and it's hard to find the ones that are really interested.
Right. Yeah. Right. So Ryan and John went through them, and we did a first set of interviews, and then we were kind of struggling because we had some great candidates. So we brought a group back for second interviews.
Okay.
And Ryan, you mentioned two guys retired. Were they with us a long time?
For over 20 years. So it's going to be tough missing them, but
Can we mention their names just for?
so Dave Peters and Ben Buckner.
I actually graduated with Dave from high school. So Dave's worked for the town for a long time. He's a great guy.
And so did Ben.
Yep, and Ben too. Yep. So thank you for all their service to town. And it's amazing when you see these guys out there every day. It doesn't matter what the weather is, they're out there. So hats off to them. Hopefully they'll have a little more relaxing time in their retirement. So
Be a little bit of a layover for both, so they can help train, which is good.
Good.
But on top of what you're saying, Steve, I think we forget how physical these jobs are.
Yeah.
It's really work.
Right.
Yeah. And today, everybody better have a lot of water and a lot of breaks. So it's a rough go today. All right. Any other questions?
No.
If not, if I could get a motion to approve Michelle Damiani and Robert Collins as groundsman 2 in the Parks Department.
So moved.
Second.
It's unanimous.
Thanks,
Thank you. Okay. Keenan Fire.
Oh. no,
Good morning.
I'm downloading now. Darn.
Yeah, I'll be,
Oh, you got knocked out? I'll go to,
Settings, yeah.
yeah.
yeah, I'm locked out too.
Oops.
Chris, we got 2 knocked out.
You're on guest net?
I'm on GuestNet.
Thank you.
Yep.
So GuestNet is the, try that.
Just 1 second, sorry.
Okay. Bueno.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, the fire department would like to increase our fiscal year 25 gallon night purchase order to not to exceed 65,000 for repairs and maintenance on apparatus. We currently have an apparatus getting body work done from the motor vehicle accident back in April. So we tried to take advantage of the downtime and do a regular service, and they found other issues which brought the cost up to over 10,000 for the repair while the apparatus was apart. That's kind of where we are with that piece of apparatus.
Is that just damage you couldn't see? Is that what happened?
It's motor. It was an antifreeze leak. The pump has a emergency cooler that runs pump water through our radiator, and there's a leak, and they found coolant in the pump water, which is not good. So that's why that had to, once it was apart, it needed to get addressed instead of putting it all together and sent back. So I made that decision to have it done while it was apart.
So this was involved in an accident?
This apparatus was hit on Jelliff Mill back in April, and that's an insurance
So
claim.
that's picking up the insurance, the other insurance is picking up the damage. This
The
is-
insurance company's paying directly for the damage, yes. So we didn't see that bill come across. That's going right through Kerma.
Mhm.
And this is the last repair from Gallons for 2025, FY25.
So is that increasing the 25? Where were you before? Were you at like, did you say this, what's the cost of this repair? It's how much more?
This repairs almost 11,000.
Okay, so
Or-
we're at 50-ish.
Yeah, I was right. I asked for, I think we were at 52 the last, our last time I asked for an increase.
All right.
And you have money for it.
Yes.
All right.
You want to do each one or go through them all?
I think I'll just read them all.
Okay.
I can approve them unless,
Okay. So open a FY26 PO for fire tech and safety not to exceed 50,000 for the purchase of our personal protective equipment. They do our service and repair of self-contained breathing apparatus and all the components and small equipment purchases for them. I currently have a quote for 34,000 for fire gears for after July 1. So that's why that one's going to be 50,000.
Quote for 34 and you're going to
Yep.
50?
Good enough.
for the whole year though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah, that was vetted, and this is the only one that provides, we're doing PFAS free turnout gear, and this one also is particulate blocking, so it's the only one that's still UL listed for particulate blocking out of all the gear. So we vetted all the other gear manufacturers.
What else do you use fire and tech for?
Our SCBA, our breathing apparatus, so they do our annual test on it and then the repairs, which was also priced out through the 2 vendors that service the Scott equipment.
So will this 50 also help with the with those purchases or?
Yeah, this is gonna I already took into account our air pack service, which comes next month.
Yep.
And then regular repairs throughout the year.
Okay, great.
FY26 PO for New England uniform, not to exceed 35,000 for purchase of fire department uniforms, so our regular station wear, our Class A uniforms and so on, contracted amount for each of the career firefighters. Any questions on that one? FY 26 PO for Greenwich Hospital, which is actually was Yale Occupational Health, not to exceed 30,000. This is for the annual firefighter physicals, both for career and volunteer members that use the Greenwich Hospital.
Okay.
And last one's FY 26 PO for locality media, $12,939.56 for our records management system. So that should be the only costs for them this year.
So are we gonna, Ann, this is just a question. The invoice says first due, it doesn't say locality media. Is that gonna create a problem? So we need to get where does it say?
Yeah, we switched it to locality last year. The PO said locality because we had an issue with it.
Right. So I just don't want you to have an issue when you try to get it paid, because the invoice that I see says first due. So
Could
the
we
name
am-
of the vendor has to match
Yes.
the PO request.
Could we amend the first due / locality media now?
Absolutely. Is that all right? Does that sound right? First due? Okay. All right. So can I get a motion to amend the agenda to change locality media to first due?
So moved.
Second.
It's unanimous. Thank you. Okay.
So Abby, this software, this looks like you've got inspections and incident reporting, scheduling, personnel management. This is just an all-encompassing internal software.
Yep, this is our records management system. Our fire marshal's office uses it for all the annual inspections in the town. We're using it for our incident reporting every day. So our scheduling and payroll is on this, pre-planning, and then calendar for events. I mean, it's, yeah. And this is where it's Community Connect lives in here, where we started that a couple months ago with the residents.
How's that going? How's that going? You getting a
Good. There's about 250 people that signed up. We'll keep making pushes, and yeah, it's good. We haven't gone to a call yet with someone with Community Connect, but I check everyone to see if there's any tiles popping up for them, but no calls to the Community Connect people, which is good.
Good.
If not, if I could get a motion to approve the following purchase orders: gallons a night for FY 25 not to exceed $65,000, fire tech and safety FY 26 not to exceed 50,000, New England uniform FY 26 not to exceed 35,000, Greenwich Hospital FY 26 not to exceed 30,000, and first due FY 26 total cost $12,939.56.
So moved.
Second.
It's unanimous.
Thank
All
you.
right, thanks. All right. I guess we have, who do we have? John, but no, we've got Jeff. Okay. Good morning.
Last minute conflict, so I got a last minute phone call. Here we are. How are you? Good morning. We're here for approval for the special response team, our tactical team, to attend the 2025 Connecticut SWAT Challenge. It's 9 team members would all be taking part. It is a few-day event. They leave August 12th, would come back August 14th. The total estimated cost is $2,350, of which they have the funding for. And we are seeking approval for their overnight stays.
So for 9, are they doubling up? I mean, is it 2 nights?
Yeah, it's 2 nights, 4 rooms for 9 people.
And I just have, I want to understand the event, because, this is not sponsored by the state or by the towns. This is an outside company that's running a competition. Is that
So
right?
it started with West Hartford Police Department. They founded it. It's become the largest SWAT competition,
Okay.
I believe, in the country, but it attracts police departments from all over the country and out of the country as well to attend. Our team has attended over half a dozen times over the years and participated. And for us, we're a small agency, a small size team. We're not going to with the hopes of placing high and winning high awards, but it's invaluable training as well as networking and exposure to what's new excuse me, what's going on, what other teams are doing, but also in the event that we had a significant incident here in New Canaan, we need outside resources. And this opens up those channels of communication to say, hey, we need help here, we need help there, kind of know who you're going to talk to, how they work, how they operate. Additionally, we've been fortunate, being a smaller team, we end up getting, we've gotten a lot of free equipment out of it because people say, oh, here, how about take this, here's a vest, or here's some stuff to try, or here's some gear. So this year, usually annually the SWAT team does one big training event a year. And this year they want to go back to the SWAT challenge. I think 22 was the last time we participated. We teamed up with Greenwich. At the time, their team was down people. So we combined, we did it as a single unit. And again, it's just invaluable training for our officers that we can't provide them throughout the year. It's exposure to different scenarios. And what they do is they set up different scenarios based on real life events, but some where it's a lot of marksmanship, a lot of movement, a lot of the things that tactical teams do in a competitive atmosphere. And then, the days are packed. And honestly, it's always been with the SWAT team. Everyone knows it's an 8-hour day, but they're not 8-hour days. They're easily 10, 12-hour days, but there's no additional compensation for that. And everyone just kind of, they know that, and they just chip in the time because they want to be there, and they know how exciting and how valuable the training experience is.
So these are work days for the 9 that consider work. So because it's unusual, so we're doing backfilling the days with other people for like it'd be overtime people that we have to have at the town for 2 days. Is that correct?
So I don't have that the breakdown in front of me. Typically, yes, as the officers are off their shift, I would guess there is some backfilling that's happening. What usually happens is it's paid for through their budget line or through fundraising. It doesn't. The deal has been with the SWAT Challenge or these big annual training events that they get funded through the team's accounts, so that the impact to the town is minimal. They get 8 hours of training a month, so sometimes what they'll do
Is this continued considered their 8 hours of monthly training?
yes, and actually they're banking.
So they do it for 2 months, maybe for 2 months against us?
Yes.
So we would have this training irrespective.
Being a
of
wash
COVID.
as far as that. Yes, it's not additional training time for them. That all washes out. Like what they'll do is they get 8 hours a month. A lot of times they break it up to 4-hour blocks. Maybe they'll go to a range for 4 hours. Then another day they'll do movements for 4 hours, but it's 8 hours. This month they banked one of their 4-hour days. They're put towards this. Then that'll be August training day. So that's 12 hours right there. And then they'll pick it out of another month. So it doesn't end up being additional training time than they would normally annually have.
It's just differently proportion training. They're doing the training through this as opposed to we would do the range or something else.
Correct.
I mean, it's pretty economical. Someone's sleeping on the couch, it looks like, too. There's 9 for 4 rooms.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Thank you for being economical.
There's company cars.
Okay.
We have
Oh,
town vehicles.
okay. Tell me this. Okay. Yeah. great.
Okay. All right. Any other questions?
That's it.
If not, if I could get a motion to approve a request from the New Canaan Police Department for travel expenses related to 9 members of the Special Response Team's participation in the Connecticut SWAT Challenge from August 12th to August 14th, 2025, in an estimated amount not to exceed $2,400.
So moved.
Second,
It's unanimous.
let us know how you place.
Yeah. Thank you. Have a good day.
Okay. Chris.
I figure not your problem. I'm on it. The information technology department's looking for approval to go back into contract with CDW with Bitdefender through CDWG as the vendor, as the reseller. And this is the software that does all of our endpoint security and our XDR and EDR, which is early detection response and extra detection and response.
That the stuff
Not
that makes
all the
my
equipment
email
everywhere.
goes into junk. I just got a notification of a phishing
No,
email.
that's a different one. This does all the, that does prior to, this does actual at the device. So it's like malware software for your regular PC. This is just on a stronger level, that's all.
And this covers everybody's.
Correct. Every piece of equipment we put in here gets
And
a license.
So
for
this is the equipment. So like I'm thinking about dark trace or something
That's out here.
that's out
Yeah,
here.
that's monitored prior
Okay.
to.
Okay.
This is if someone were to come in, inject an email, if it were to get through, this takes it at that level, at the desktop level, so it doesn't infect and then go to the servers.
Okay.
Yeah, we have,
Gosh.
yeah, it's everywhere. It's up
Yeah.
here, it's
Yeah.
at the firewall level, behind the firewall, down to the device itself, and then from the device to the image. So,
Can't be safe enough.
There
Yeah.
are so many evil people out there.
Yeah.
Well, and now it's machinery.
yeah,
doing it,
we're
too.
small, but we catch, and especially what's going on right now, we have just seen double.
Yeah.
So it's getting dirty.
Dirtier.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
This is an annual subscription that we have, right? This
Correct.
is, and how does that compare with last year? Are you seeing price increases here or has it been? pretty-
No, the budget was very close, CDWG, because they're a government account. They try to keep, because they buy so much in bulk all over, they buy the licensing from Bitdefender.
Yep.
I don't have the exact number, but I know it wasn't more than $500 or $1,000. It wasn't that bad at all. And we added more devices as well this year.
Thank
We're also asking for the PO for this at the same time, because we're doing that, I guess, kind of new. It's our first time to ask, because we will be going for our two-factor through CDWG and for Deanna to sign.
That was gonna be my next question. I'm like, why do we need more money than this amount? Okay.
Yep.
All right.
So you'll see that come to your desk, but it's under
Okay.
10.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, great. All right. Any other questions? Nope. Okay. If I could get a motion to approve a request from the Information Technology Department to create a blanket purchase order with CDWG in the amount of $17,000 to enter into a contract with CDWG in the amount of $11,897.80 for renewal of Bitdefender Gravity Zone Enterprise and Patch.
So moved.
Second. It's unanimous. Okay.
Stay hydrated out there. He's working outside on cameras today.
I'm gonna go change, so thank you.
Yeah.
I do see what's going on, and they're gonna work on it, but after the meeting, that way they don't.
Okay. Oh, great. Okay, thank you. All right, purchase order approvals.
Good morning.
Morning.
So this is for the buildings department. This is our annual purchase order approval for all the blanket purchase orders that we need for the year. They range from our dumpster rental to elevator maintenance, our building management systems for each building, fire service, alarm monitoring, general repairs, supplies, things of that nature. I don't know if you have any specific questions. It totals $668,240.29. It's very similar to last year's request. I think it's a little bit more extensive and a little bit more information for you to digest. But if you have specific questions on any item, I'm happy to answer them.
So Tiger, you said this is very comparable to what last year was?
Yes, it was. Yeah, we did it a little bit differently last year. So we did the contracts, the preventive maintenance contracts and their repairs, if we ran into a problem, and then the separate just blanket purchase order. This time he separated the contracts out and then did all other contracting on the side, but the numbers themselves are very close.
Do you know why we use two different elevator companies?
Different elevators.
Oh, they are?
Yeah,
Where,
yeah. So each elevator
has its own
has its
repair.
own-
So Otis
yes.
and an Otis
Otis.
elevator has okay. I didn't know I'd never heard of Kona Elevator. So, okay.
Yeah, it's actually one of the top three in the world.
So does that mean we now have 5 elevators we're servicing? Is that there's 5 different, there's 3 for Otis and 2 for Cone?
Yes, yeah. So it's the elevators themselves. We've got police department, New Canaan EMS, the town hall, fire department, and the playhouse. And eventually we'll have one in Waveney.
So the Playhouse, so we're responsible for the building, even though
We're
we rent-
responsible for the
yeah.
building, but they pay that.
Yeah, so this is, I'm sorry, it's twisted on the sensor.
Yeah, the scan came in wrong.
You got it vertically. About how much we have to pay in for maintenance on the Playhouse?
I have to get you that number overall. They are responsible for a good portion of the maintenance, especially in the building
Yeah,
itself. We're actually responsible for the
weird
outside,
lease.
but they're responsible for the inside
So are they responsible
Yeah, they
for it?
for this work. So we'll bill them, they'll pay us back.
For
for
every
this
single
work.
number here?
every single,
Every single playhouse number. I'm just trying, and again, I'm sorry, I'm just twisted looking at it. So,
there's only,
the preventive maintenance for
we had,
2019, there's 25,000,
that's correct. That's the one.
and the HV, that's 19,800. So that's supposed to be reimbursed on us.
Right. There are certain contracts that they have specifically with Eastern Mechanical. They have to pay them and others.
So we have the envelope, they have the interior, and even including the maintenance on the HVAC, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Interestingly enough, that was written into the lease.
Okay. We can hope.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions?
Straightforward.
All right, there's a lot to do on the buildings and in the town for the year, so.
A lot of buildings, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of buildings. So if I could get a motion to approve a request from the Department of Public Works for FY 26 blanket purchase orders in the amount of $668,240.29 for building repair supplies and contract services.
Second.
It's unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, any Jenna
Since
questions?
we added this, Department of
Yes.
Public Works, anything?
Just for you, Amy.
Well, that's good. We can just give it up. Sorry. Everything going swimmingly at the elevator? Anything update for the week?
So the elevator's been ordered.
Okay.
The shop drawings were approved. There's some minor tweaks on the shop drawings that are being worked on, but everyone from the elevator manufacturer, Custom Cab, to Champion, who's the elevator company going to install it, to Alden Bailey, as well as our elevator consultant, all agreed that they could move forward. And then there was just some generalized tweaks. It might be where certain portions of some brackets are, all the way down to where the finish is on the glass, right? So that kind of thing, that doesn't have to hold up the shop drawing for the manufacturer.
Right.
And then it was agreed upon that they would deliver once, they wouldn't drop ship in one full load. They would drop ship as things became available. They would send it to us. So then, and then we would store it on our site so that we had it here. So that 32-week time frame began sometime at the end of May, early June, and we're looking at the first week in January as being that 32-week time frame. And that 32-week was the worst case scenario, not saying 32 and then above. It was up to 32 weeks. So that's why we'll be able to get some of the material earlier.
So we're hoping early January to get it, and that gives us to March to get it in? Is-
Right, because it's January, February, March to get it in, and we weren't going to do any of the work until it was here. So we didn't want to open up anything, start putting in the shaft and not have the materials here. So as they come about, we'll have them here, and then he'll be able to start around January 1. Is his thought to start opening up the and put in the shaft itself, the shaftway in the area.
Yep.
Right, that's right there. So
That'd be great. That'd be very exciting.
yeah, we were able to get a meeting of all parties, everyone, including Custom Cab, which was usually shielded by Champion Elevator since they're a subcontractor of a subcontractor. We were able to get everyone on a call, and now there's almost a daily email going forward from all of the entities, making sure that everything is going forward. So we've had some very good movement in the past month. So that's making me much more comfortable. You know,
Yeah, well, that's encouraging that you're hoping all the hard pieces are on site beginning of January, because that gives you the time to put it in. My worry was that you'd get the stuff in like February 28th and have a month.
That was the concern as well.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Terrific.
Was ours, was that way that's why we didn't allow any of the shaftway to be installed this year, because
We
we
just
wanted
sit
to
there.
make sure the materials were here before we went and did that, because we didn't want to have 9 months of a shaftway sitting in that area. So
Thank you.
no problem.
Any other projects we should know about? Other than-
South Avenue started yesterday. Took 50 minutes to get the first complaint.
How's it going, Steve?
So
How's it going getting to work in the morning?
It's exciting.
Those are
Because
some
we
big
did-
pieces they're putting in.
So we mill and paved White Oak Shade
Milden paved White Oak Shade,
obviously with South Avenue. That was interesting, but that
a
was
little tough. Yeah.
That was, hey, it happens. Because right now, the amount of projects we have simultaneously going in town, it's pretty amazing. I mean, you're out there. It must take you all day just to visit all of them. I mean, it's
So
unbelievable.
yesterday it took us a couple hours. So, because if you looked at it, we reviewed Marvin Ridge and White Oak Shader all paved. Marvin, White Oak Shader is a small piece that's left that they'll do Friday. They just ran out of time in the day. And then from there went to Putnam, where they're doing the sidewalks on Putnam right now. They're on from Surrey going into the cul-de-sac. They've completed from the portion on Putnam up on Surrey Road itself, and then went around the corner to Conrad to where we're starting the intersection improvements there. So yeah, we
Right,
had
saw that.
those. Excuse me.
No, I saw that.
Yeah, so and then he's on North Wilton Road right now milling that, and then we'll start paving that on Friday, and then work through that. And then we've got our micro thin overlay coming in end of June, so that'll start as well. So that's Bayberry, Sheridan, Briscoe, and a portion of Valley. That'll get a little bit iffy because of the work on Valley. I work on Silvermine with Aquarium, but we'll have additional staff out there to make sure everyone can flow through. But yeah, South Avenue started. They ran into their first problem on the first day. Within 10 feet, they had to go underneath a water line that was unanticipated. They were able to do that. It'll take them a couple, 3 days to get out of the Harrison intersection, and then Harrison will be part of the detour itself. We'll be able to move the barricades up to Harrison, so they can so residents can go down Bank or down Harrison at that point in time to get around the area. And they've been. I spoke to the officers yesterday, and they didn't say that there was any problems. They said everything was flowing pretty well. Residents were coming up and explaining where they needed to go, and they were able to be accommodated. So we're
It's just as
hoping.
much signage as possible. I can't say that enough. I mean, it's really,
Yeah, and as everyone gets used to the flow and understand that every day it's going to be closed at 7 o'clock, then I think it gets a little bit easier.
yeah, because coming up Main Street today, the signs were all up. So people were trying to make lefts up to get to South Avenue, but those signs were all closing the roads, the routes.
Correct.
So
Yeah, basically no through traffic. Roads open up until South Avenue with no through traffic. And once everyone starts to understand that they have to come down and basically go around the entire work zone, because the state is allowing multiple crews in the area, so therefore we have to close the entire work zone off for them. They normally do not allow multiple crews within 1 mile of each other. They're allowing it here in order to allow us to fit the time frame that we have, which is a very, very tight 12-week time frame. So
To get it all done, right?
Well,
Figure.
you're one.
Yeah.
Farm Road, not there'll be next year there'll be a piece on Farm Road where from the Farm Road from the
Avenue.
yes, yes. So on South, they'll get all the way to Farm, and then we'll have to go from Farm to Waveney itself for next year. But that'll be a lot less, a lot less of a problem as far as inconvenience, since it's one intersection at that point in time. It'll be, and most of the residents can get onto South Avenue and do what they need to do, get home. what have you.
we've asked this, but they know that they can't be there first day of school, right? I mean,
They know.
everybody's-
We've had the discussion multiple times. We allowed them to saw cut prior because that was going to be a small inconvenience. But no, they know that they cannot be on the street at all during that time.
That's hard. That's hard enough on a normal day.
That's correct. Yeah, about 3 times a day it gets a little bit iffy, especially in the morning and the evening. So no, they know that they don't want to be there either. So.
And then Elm Street, the tree, and then we're cutting into the street again there.
That's an emergency service sewer repair at 150 Elm. So I talked to the contractor yesterday. He thinks he's got 2 days left in order to finish. He's running into the exact same problems. There's multiple things in the street that he's had to go under. He's had to have Aquarium come out several times to move some of their stuff that's in the road. So yesterday he said he had 2 to 3 days. Yesterday being one of the days. So he's got 2 more days to go. I asked him to open up the pedestrian way yesterday so that at least the sidewalk was open. He said he was going to accomplish that yesterday. And he was able to plate it for the caffeine and carburetor. So we were able to move around through the area, but it's still a large convenience at the upper end of Elm Street. So, but yeah, he's got a couple.
The contractor had a pretty large concrete barrier up to protect pedestrians as they were walking it like around the whole site into the street with cones and stuff. It was really, hadn't seen that one before, but it was it was like New York City, basically. It was
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. It's unfortunate. Well, it's a deep excavation. It's,
Yeah.
and he's got to go way out into the street. He's got to go almost he's got to go into the extra lanes. So, which is hard because the sewer is all the way out on the other side. So it's a little bit more involved.
That's a private business's
Yeah.
contract, not the town's
Right.
contract. So.
Right. We're just monitoring it. That's all on him. All we did was take the tree down and then, so allow him to be able to dig through the roots. And then, he's taking the stump out and we'll put a new tree in its place when it's done. And then repair our portion of the sidewalk from the tree damage. He'll do the rest of the sidewalk.
So all to be done before we pave and make Elm Street the most beautiful.
All
street.
before, yes, yeah, all before sidewalk sale and then before we pave it after. That's correct.
Okay, good.
One last thing, the South Avenue trees, can't tell you how many people comment on them. They just love them. A couple of them are died. Is that part of the contract? They just
Part of the
replace them?
contract, yeah. So we had Keith Simpson Associates go out and take a look. 2 are dead.
Mhm.
We had about 6 on our watch list, 4 rebounded, 2 expired. And we've already gotten those now. So we've gotten those replacements and our highway department will be.
We're gonna put them in the middle
middle
of summer versus waiting till September?
Yeah, we're gonna put them in. We've been watering every other day for, and we'll be watering every other day through this heat wave.
Okay.
So we watered yesterday, we'll water tomorrow, and they've been on it. Those trees one of them was a relocation. We put it in a location. The resident didn't like it there, so we relocated to another, and it didn't like being moved twice. So.
Yeah, but most of them look pretty good. I mean, that's a pretty good hit ratio
Yeah.
for them to hang in there. That's great.
DOT looks at a 50% die off for theirs, so we're well within that. At 139 trees, we've had 2.
Yeah, no,
So-
it's amazing, actually. Yeah.
Really?
They do. This is spectacular. I mean,
All right.
All right,
Thank
all right, no
you.
problem. Thank you.
All right, John. Parks and Rec blanket purchase orders.
this line item.
Brought Ryan with me for backup. Security guard. So, to start with, this is a little bit of an adjusted list from last week's. I've removed 4 vendors that we're going to change how we're gonna, in one case, we're gonna go out to bid. A few other ones I want to get back up for other quotes and everything. So we pulled them off the list and we'll be coming back to you with them with proper information. With that said, I'll be glad to go through the whole list. I do have one note on the recreation. On your tablets should be different than what's on the agenda, but under My Cupcake Party, it's actually 3 separate companies. So it should be My Cupcake Party LLC, Jane Benton, and Elm Street Events. They bill us on with as different vendors. So without your approval, we wouldn't be able to get purchase orders for them to do the work.
Can I ask about just because you're on mine cupcake? Okay, so, and I know this is just our cost and these are profit. But how many people participate in this? And, if we're spending 80,000, what do we bring in?
Regularly, probably around 100,000.
Okay.
Yes, I say that because it does vary
Yeah.
some.
And
without
the
that.
goal is not to make a lot of money on this, but it is that we'll get a slight profit on these.
We
things.
do make a slight profit, and that's why that's rough. It's not exactly, because depending on the program, if break even is, let's say, 8 kids,
Mhm.
we get 10, we're in a good place, and probably we max out at 12. And I'm just using those numbers as examples.
So is that like, how is this one event or is it many events?
Multiple events.
Okay.
So
Sorry, Mark.
besides before and after school programs, which almost every session, it's one of those popular ones that the kids love.
Cakes in New Canaan.
So is it decorating? Is it the kids decorated? Is that
It's
what they do?
decorating
Okay.
mainly. Yep. But also, they work with us for our fall festival. They do a lot there. So it's that type of, it's those programs.
Where do they run these? At Waveney House or at the library, or where are these run?
Mostly at the schools for the
At the
before and
schools.
after school
Oh,
programs.
Okay, in the
Uh,
kitchens there?
Yep, we have in the summertime. We've
Okay.
tried to have a few things because it's during the week at Waveney House.
Yep.
It's not the most conducive, coolest place in the summer, so,
Just in
yeah,
there.
but yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But
All right.
I'll be glad to go through any other questions.
Other
about anything.
questions? I'm not going. Yeah, so I'll
Yes.
amend the agenda. Can I get a motion to amend the agenda on the recreation self-sustaining section? To change my cupcake party to my cupcake party, Jane Benton LLC and Elm Street Events.
And also, do you have to say, some of these have contracts associated with them? So is it the approval of the blanket purchase order
And the
and
PO.
contracts where
Yes,
necessary?
We're gonna need, well, which, oh God. Yeah, because, so contracts and purchase orders. I'll just say contracts and purchase orders.
Yeah, I think that goes.
And that should, vote request purchase order for. Okay. Any other questions?
Can I, about different areas, can I ask about the pool operational?
Oh, wait, sorry, did we approve that?
Oh.
Okay, can we just get
Yeah,
that approval done
absolutely,
first and then,
Sure. I'll make the motion.
okay. And
Second,
it's unanimous. Okay, so that'll be changed. Now go ahead.
yeah, so just on the pool operational. So repair, maintenance, CO2 storage tank, liquor cleaning, but this does not include the cleaning service and the other.
No, they'll come under the less than 10,000.
Oh, really? Less than 10,000 to clean the
we-
pool for the season?
So this is our list that we need to come to you for. There's always a chance that I made a mistake and closed them out, but we should be all set.
I'm just curious, so for the pool, to operate it, well, obviously this isn't lifeguards and all that stuff, but just so.
That's right.
So that's what, 40, 50, say 51,000, right? Plus cleaning, it's under 10,000, say 60,000. And then the rest is staffing to run the pool? I'm just curious.
Pretty much. Electricity, of course, we don't come to you. And even with the solar panels, we pay electricity.
Okay.
One of the ones that I pulled out of there is the landscaping in there because we're going to go out to bid on that. So that's not there. So,
Okay.
yep.
All right, just curious.
Mhm.
Thank you.
And John, we touched on that Tom Irwin Inc. number. That's the biggest number. Can you just refresh our memory on that again?
So that is all our fertilizer and seed and the little bit of pesticides that we buy for our athletic fields more than anything. There's some other properties that we also purchase with that, but that is all under the CROCG purchasing agreement, which takes care of the pricing on that. So that's already been bid out for us.
So this is strictly the actual material. There's no labor in there.
This is the material, not the labor to apply it. We hire a separate company to do the applications. That's one of the ones I pulled out. It's been a long time since we have done competitive pricing on the applications. And with all the questions, we figured we'll pull it out. We'll get some pricing and come back to it. We feel, both Ryan and I feel, that it works well buying our chemical or our products ourselves, because then we know exactly the proper amounts that are going down, and then hiring a separate company to apply them.
And you've got room to store all this stuff somewhere? Where you?
That's one of the things that's fortunate is they deliver for each application.
Oh, wow.
So there's always some overlap, we might have a few pallets, but we do not have enough storage to purchase it all and have it all in-house at once.
Good. So it's good. Good stuff.
Have you seen, I know we've had inflation and especially in sort of commodity products, but have you seen with the expansion of the turf fields, sort of commensurate reduction in the amount of product that we've had to purchase?
Looked at the amount, you'd see it going up, but yes,
Really?
only because of the cost of everything that's
Oh, the
gone up.
dollars, not
The
the- not
dollars
the
have gone
volume,
up,
the
but the
dollars have
volume
gone down.
has gone down.
Has
And
gone
we
down.
evaluate our program. So
It would be interesting just as a, like, not today, because I know it's a lot of numbers, but it'd be interesting to understand the volume decline as we've added turf fields and the pricing increase. If we could look at those those two
Sure.
figures, just to see sort of what the trajectory is and,
Yep. And
Add in when, we have to buy the extra pellets, but I think add in what we have to, the maintenance we have to do on the turf fields
Mhm.
every year.
there is
Right.
some
Oh, yeah,
maintenance.
yeah,
They're
no,
not
I'm
not
just trying
free.
to keep it clean with the grass, and then we'd have to look at turf separately.
For this year, we put it through the budget process, but when we removed Capo Field from our fertilizing and everything, we added the Waveney lawn behind the house. Now, overall, the Waveney lawn is a smaller area than Capo Field, so there was some reduction there.
Oh, so we weren't doing.
Not doing anything on Waveney lawn.
Oh, my.
Okay.
Yeah. And one of the things we want to do is we want to control leaves, or weeds.
Mhm.
Last year, we had more complaints from the little bees, nobody getting
Oh, right,
stung,
with the
but it's the
flowers.
feeling of
Yeah,
sitting there with,
yeah, those
you
little
know, and they're
flowers.
flying around and everything else. So
You mean on the clover?
Yeah.
Clover's good for the
You
environment.
might come over and pick it out of my yard.
No, I love clover.
Come and
I would do
get
a whole
it.
yard of clover.
Okay. Any other questions? All right, so I'm not gonna read this whole list, but if I could get a motion to approve a request from the Parks and Recreation Department for contracts and blanket purchase orders for the contractors listed on the agenda and in our tablets.
So moved.
It's unanimous.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wow, and with that, we are at contracts under review. That's what happens when you have 2 weeks in a row of meetings. Questions? Okay.
Good.
So the next thing is, I don't think we meet, we not meet until, okay, so since we're not meeting until after the 4th of July, I just want to wish everyone a happy 4th of July. Look forward to seeing everyone at the fireworks at Waveney. Please, if you're intending to attend, please buy your pass. The fireworks are a self-sustaining operation, so the town does not fund that amazing event that's held every year. So please buy your pass, and there's even a section for an additional donation if you are so inclined.
What's the easiest way to buy your pass?
What's the easiest way to buy your pass? I think it's to go online for the week up until. You can go into the Parks and Rec Department website so just go to the Parks and Rec. You know what? Tucker's here. You can give us all the, or who else is there? John's here. Yes, John, why don't you give us all the lowdown? Because I'm not going to be the
No.
most adept at this answer.
Offhand, I won't remember exactly all the places and what days we're selling. You can go to Walter Stewart's and purchase a
Not until
pass there.
Not now though, right? Oh, now you can too? Okay.
Supermarket themselves, and then the last few days up until the fireworks, the volunteers will be there selling passes.
Right.
You
Because
can,
the online shuts off a week before.
Just to have it mailed.
Right.
Order online, but you can go pick it up.
Okay.
yes, and
Okay.
you can walk into the rec department, Monday through Friday, 8 to 4, or Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4, and Friday, 8 to 1:30. And you'll be able to pick up on, quite a few people are doing that. And then the day of, whether the fireworks are on the 4th or rain date to the 5th, the day of at the pool, you'll be able to pick one up there. Of one note though, it's $40 a day off at the pool.
Okay.
John, I don't think people could have heard Tucker. I think reiterate, if you buy online, you'll get it up to the week before, it'll get mailed to you. Is that correct?
That's,
Yeah, but I don't think people, no, but I don't think people would have heard it. Yeah, that's right.
yes, now the point in time, I believe actually up
Oh,
through
right.
today or tomorrow, you can still purchase online and have it mailed. We need to mail by Friday to make sure people receive them. But you're still able to purchase online. You just have to go in and pick it up.
Great.
All right. Anything else? I would also.
Weather is perfect. Right now, the forecast is perfect. That's what we need.
And I just wanted to, I'm going back to my old days, and I noticed in the New Canaanite today, the passing of Dr. Lenore Schneider. She was an institution at New Canaan High School. Very sad to see that she's passed. So just would like to comment on her passing and what an amazing educator she was in this community. So,
Yeah, she was there a long time.
yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Well, on a positive note, Todd Lavieri's letter also was in the New Canaanite, and it's been around town. But the results of the budget process was very successful, and I think Todd encapsulated the results very well. So you got to work under him for quite a while.
With him.
With him.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing when you look at that whole process, and we basically have a couple of months off and we start all over again. you
And
know?
it's never ending.
Yeah, it's wild.
And I would say anybody through town, if there's, or any departments, if there's major unusual capital projects you want us to evaluate, come now.
Yeah.
Don't wait till the budget process.
Yep.
Come now, give people the time to ask the questions and understand that this is a time, everyone kind of puts, because it's such a long process, right? But everyone then scrambles at the end and we don't have the time to give it the attention we need. So,
Oh, and I forgot to mention,
Nobody asked Tiger, but the repairs on Waveney House exterior have begun.
oh, excellent.
so just so everybody knows, if you want to stop up there, they have begun. So,
Excellent.
okay, with that, if I could get a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
And it's a wrap for the
It's
budget.
unanimous.